Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi Shali Sadri wa Yassirli Amri wa Lugdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi zid ilma. Okay, now children, how are you? Hope that you all are well. Okay, today we are here to solve one more paper, that is Cambridge IGCSE paper 2, Computer Science, Algorithm, Programming and Logic. This is of February, March 2026. The duration of the paper is 1 hour 45 minutes. You have to answer on the question paper. No additional materials are needed. Now let's go through the instructions. You have to answer all the questions. Use a black or dark blue pen for writing the answers. You are allowed to use an HB pencil for any diagrams or graphs. You have to write your name, candidate number, and sentence number in the given boxes at the top of the page. You have to write your answer in the given space. Do not use an erasable pen. Do not use a correction fluid or tape at all. You do not write on any barcodes. Calculators must not be used in the paper, so please refrain from carrying the calculator to the examination hall. The paper is of 75 marks. You have to see the marks which are given in the form of in the brackets after each question or each part question. No mark will be awarded for using the brand names. Please do not use the brand names at all of any software package or hardware, because you will not score any mark for that. Now moving to the first question. Question number 1. Tick one box to identify the reason for applying a verification check to input data. To make sure that all data is in the correct range, to make sure that all the data is accurate, to make sure that no errors have been introduced during input, to make sure that all the data is of the correct length. So just see for yourself which one do you think is the right answer for this reason of choosing the verification checks. Yes, children, are you able to find out the answer? A is completely wrong, very correct. And definitely D is also completely wrong, because they both are your validation checks. Perfect. Now that it is between B and C, which is to make sure that all the data is accurate and to make sure that no errors have been introduced during input. So which is the right answer? Part C, to make sure that no errors have been introduced during input. Now question number 2. Identify the type of validation check in each description. Each check must be different. A check to make sure that data input follows a set pattern, such as 2 letters followed by 3 numbers. Such a simple one is the format check. That will give you 1 mark. Second one, a check to make sure that only whole numbers can be input, and that is the type check. Now this will give you 1 mark again, and that is again so simple. If you have remembered all the validation checks, then answer will be definitely going to be written accurately, and you will be scoring the marks. Now part B. Explain the reasons why validation checks are necessary when data is input. It's a 3-mark question. So why is validation check needed? To make sure that data input is reasonable. Humans make mistakes when entering data. For example, computer has a way of checking that how you are entering the data. To protect the integrity of the database of the program, to prevent incorrect results or errors that is being introduced. For example, division by 0. So this is what the student may write, and he will be able to score 3 out of 3 for writing the explanation that why validation checks are necessary when data input is done. Now, the next question is part C. Write the pseudocode for an algorithm to perform a validation check on each number as it is input to meet the following criteria. Input 20 numbers one at a time. If a number is negative, store it in the current element of array neg numbers. If a number is not negative, ask for it to be input again until a negative number is input. When all 20 negative numbers have been stored, output a message to state that the check has been completed. So this is going to be your requirement. Use appropriate input prompts and output messages to make sure that the requirements are clear to the user. Now, do not declare any arrays or variables for this algorithm. Now, be very clear. This is very clearly written that you do not have to declare the variables. You do not have to declare any arrays or variables at all for the algorithm. Now, this is a 6-mark question. So let's see what are the marking points. You can see for yourself, the first thing is you have to go for input of 20 numbers. And then you need to see that it's going to be like along with appropriate messages. Now, this is very, very important that students have used the proper prompts to display the message properly, and that is the most important thing. Then validating the input that is entered by the user, and since the validation of the input is like a person may enter all the values as negative values, or a person may make a mistake. So in this case, validation is going to be performed using while or repeat. Error messages are going to be displayed inside the validation loop. Re-input inside the validation loop. Confirmation messages after all numbers are input. So this is going to be the marking points. So out of these 6 marking points, a student is supposed to write all the valid points. And this is just an example to make you understand that this is what is the minimum requirement. Like here, I've done it with both while and repeat until, so you can understand. First is the use of for index assignment operator 1 to 20 and next. And this means that I am asked to input 20 numbers. And again, just for the purpose of making it clear, I've not written index with the with next, just to make you very clear that writing variable with next is optional. It's not compulsory, so you're not confused at all. Inside the loop, I have asked the person to enter a negative number, a message for him, and then input neg number bracket index. While neg number index is greater than or equal to 0, because we were supposed to go for a negative input only. It means that the value should not be above 0. So that is why while neg number index is greater than or equal to 0, do output a message for the user so that he knows that he has made a mistake, enter a negative number, input neg number index. Now be clear, this neg number was the array that I was supposed to be very careful about. So this is my array, as you can see here, neg number. Neg number is my array name. Neg numbers is my array name. So that is why neg numbers is used here for the input and neg numbers is used here for the checking also. While neg numbers index is greater than or equal to 0, you have to output a message for the user so that he knows he has to enter a negative number. Input is taken once again, and end while will send it back to the while loop. So in this manner, this is the work of a nested loop, because we have to go for 20 inputs, and it may happen that the person is very cautious and he is always entering a negative number. So assume that I entered -2. Now -2 is a negative number. So -2 is greater than or equal to 0. Now you can see for yourself, -2 greater than or equal to 0, the condition is false or true. -2 is greater than or equal to 0, the condition is false. And that is why it will not enter the loop, and it should not enter the loop. That is what we know. Entering of the loop is only going to happen when a person has entered a positive number, or even a person has entered a value 0. That's why we have just made the check that if the value is above 0 or equal to 0, then a person will be sent a message, will be shown a message that he has to enter a negative number only. Input taken, and once all the 20 inputs are taken and being checked that are they negative or not, then an output message is needed after the loop is over, and there is output 20 negative numbers have been input and stored in the array. So in this manner, you have included all the valid points you have written. You've just checked that everything is included or not, and you will be scoring 6 out of 6. And the same is also done with repeat until. So if you're okay with repeat until, you can do that also. Again, the for to next, and here also for index equals to 1 to 20. Repeat. Input is taken, and you can see enter a negative number. Input taken. If neg number index is greater than 0, then output, please enter a negative number. Input is taken once again, and end if. Now this is done through a repeat until loop. Okay, fine. Just a sort of input taken, just made a check. If number is above 0, then only it will be asking the person to re-enter, and until neg number index is less than 0. So till the time the value of the first input taken, if it's less than 0, perfectly okay, it will not enter. It will not enter the repeat at all. Input taken, it will not enter the if at all. There will be no message for the user, and it will move to the next input. So in this manner, again the same, -2. -2 is greater than or equal to 0. Condition is false, so it will not enter here until neg number is less than 0. The condition is, again, you can say now the condition is true. And repeat until works when condition is false. So now -2 is less than 0. Now condition is true. So definitely it will not enter the loop at all, and it will be moving to the next and taking the second input. In this manner, the same way, all the 20 inputs will be taken, checked for the input should be a negative value, and in this manner, the student will be able to score 6 out of 6. So whichever method you are okay with, you are comfortable with repeat until, you go with repeat until. You are okay with while do and while, you go with that structure, and be very cautious, and you will be able to score the full marks. Question number 3. The program development life cycle is split into a number of stages. Describe what happens during the analysis and design stages of the program development life cycle. It's a 6-mark question. It means that there are 3 points to be written for analysis and 3 points to be written for design, and 3 valid points. And just recall, analysis means that we have talked about identification of the problem, that what the problem actually is, and requirement specification also, just figuring out what the requirements of the organization are. Besides this, we have already discussed abstraction and decomposition. So it means that just remember, when it comes to analysis, requirement specification, finding out what the requirements are, then talk about abstraction and decomposition, and this is going to be your main key points. So let's see what the examiners want you to write. Identification of the problem and requirements may include breaking down the problem into smaller parts, includes abstraction, which means removal of the unnecessary details, and whatever is needed is only kept. And then you can even talk about the term decomposition also. The breaking down of tasks into subtasks is decomposition. In this manner, you have included the key terms, you have explained them properly, you will be able to score the marks. Maximum 3 marks, the way I said. And similarly for design, there's 1 mark for each of the following. So construction of a solution to the problem. And for this, we use either flowcharts, structure diagrams, or the pseudocode writing. So this is what we already know. So answering the explanation for designing, we know we are going to find the solution to the problem by constructing certain things for the end user and the programmers also. And for that, we are going to draw flowcharts to solve the problem. We can write pseudocode to solve the problem. We can also decompose the problem into smaller parts using structure diagrams. So 3 points out of these 4 points mentioned will land you into 6 out of 6. Now, question number 4. Tick 1 box to identify which of the following does not help to create a maintainable program. Now, what are the options given? Use meaningful identifier for variable names. Remove the blank lines to make the program code shorter. Use procedures and functions. Use the commenting feature provided by the programming language. So I think we all are very much clear about maintainable program, but let's see. Now, maintainable program, or you can say the stages in program development lifecycle. So here, which one is completely out of question? You can see for yourself. We need meaningful identifiers. We have to use procedures and functions to go for modular approach. We know that we use commenting features. So it means removal of blank lines to make the code shorter is not at all a characteristic of maintainable program. So in this manner, you have identified it accurately just by following the same method as we have told right now, and you will be scoring 1 out of 1. Now moving to the next question. Question number 5. The pseudocode algorithm intended to sort 200 names in ascending order using a bubble sort. Ascending order using bubble sort. Okay, now it's bubble sort and we are performing the sort in ascending order. Let me highlight the key things for you to remember. And it's 200 elements or 200 names. The last names and first names are stored in separate columns of a 2D array. The last names are stored in column 1 of the array. Okay, the last names are stored in column 1 of the array, and you can see now this is the clear description of what they want you to do. Now it's a 22 lines pseudocode, and out of these you can see the comments. Again, by the way, children, you can see they have included a number of things in our questions themselves just to make us understand that they are very, very important. Writing the comments is something that will be helpful for you as a programmer, even if you have left the organization, or maybe you're not working on the project anymore and someone else has joined in your place, or maybe some junior is working for you in place of you, then the comments are going to be very helpful. Even if I made a program maybe a year earlier, after a year, if I open, if the comments are not there, I may not be able to figure out what the problem is or what the solution to the problem is. That is why comments, or I can say remarks, are very, very helpful. Now, line number 1, the array names has already been declared as array 1 colon 200 because it is 200 locations, and 1 colon 2 of string, and it is already populated. So you don't have to worry at all about declarations or the insertion of data in the array at all. Declare row string, declare temp1 string, declare temp2 string, declare swap boolean, swap equals to false, while not swap do. Swap equals to false. For row equals to 199, line number 11, if names row comma 1 is greater than names row plus 1 comma 1, then temp1 will hold names row comma 1, temp2 will hold names row comma 2. The two values will be swapped. Names row comma 1 will be names row plus 1 comma 1. Names row comma 1 will hold names row plus 1 comma 2. Names row plus 1 comma 1 will hold temp1 value. Names row plus 1 comma 2 will hold temp2 value. Then swap equals to false, and if, next column, and while. Now we have to identify the line numbers of 5 errors in the pseudocode and suggest corrections. Now let's do it very quickly. I'm giving you 2 minutes to figure out, and then we'll identify them together and then see are our answers matching or not. Come on, be quick. Okay, now yes, children, figured out a few of the errors. 5 out of these 5, are you able to figure out any of the two, any errors up till now? Okay, let's do it very quickly. First and second lines are common, so there is no as such problems in those lines. Now see, declare row string, and just move down, and we are using row in as for, like as a counter, like the thing that you have been okay with, just recalling the same term that we are mostly using. So it's used with for, and we know the for loop is always using a number. It means this line has an error. So let's identify line number 3. Now moving to temp1 is correct, temp2 is correct, temp swap is correct. Swap equals to false, and while not swap. While mean, in other words, while swap equals to false. Then we have line number 9 again saying swap equals to false. It means that is also an error. Now for row equals to 2 to 199. By the way, if you recall, we have talked about this bubble sort. Even in the class earlier also, we have been talking about the same stuff in the recent classes, that you are going to work on the passes. And passes are always going to be like, you can say the number of iteration that you are going to perform are going to be 1 less than the number of elements. So if there are 200 elements, the number will be 199. So in this case, the problem is in for row equals to 2 to 199 is wrong. It should be 1 to 199. So that is also a problem. Now, if you move down, like while I was just reading the entire question, if you have observed, And I think you might have observed that basically, if you see names row comma 1 equals to names row plus 1 comma 1, and names row comma 1 once again is coming, and then we are moving the second column's value, which is wrong. It should be now the location number 2, and that is also a problem. It means line number 16 has a problem. Like 1, 2, 3, 4 errors we have identified, and then if we move down, swap equals to false is going to be okay. Now moving to the next one, swap equals to false, and swap equals to false here or swap equals to false here. While not swap equals to false here or swap equals to false here. And then next column is wrong. It should not be line number 21 has next column that is wrong. It should be next row, because we have identified row, and that is why you can see here. These are the errors. Line number 3, declare row integer. Now line number 9, swap equals to true. It should be swap equals to true. Line number 10, 4 equals to 199 is the right correction. Line number 16, names row comma 2 equals to names row plus 1 comma 2, and line number 21, which should be next row and not next column. So in this manner, we have identified all the problem areas in this manner. Swap equals to false after like in the here. So while not swap is going to be, you can see this is a bit different from the norm that we have been handling. So just be very clear. The bubble sort algorithm can be written in different styles. Just was something that we discussed earlier also, that answers of pseudocode can be different by different children. So they all are going to be considered the right answers if they have included the proper concepts. So this will give you 5 out of 5. If you have identified all the 5 problem areas, then you will be scoring 5 out of 5. Now part B. Write the pseudocode for an algorithm using nested iteration to output the contents of names. See, such a clear indication, such a clear hint that is given to you that you have to use a nested loop because it's a 2D array. Okay, to output the contents of the array names. So what are the marking points? Correct outer loop, which is covering all the 200 rows. Correct inner loop, which is covering both the columns 1 and 2. Correct output statements, correct termination of both the loops. Now you can see there is simple. Let's keep our code very simple, and let's keep our code most efficient one. And most efficient is the use of the for loop if you know the number of iterations. So you can see the use of the variables for row, assignment operator 1 to 200, for column, assignment operator 1 to 2, because we have a 2D array that is composed of 200 lines and it has 2 columns. Like if you draw it like this, just to make you understand for the purpose of understanding, this is your 2D array. And this 2D array has 2 columns. The first column is holding the last name, and see, this is the one. And it is containing that this is your first column and this is your second column. And it has total of 200 rows or 200 names in this manner. 1, 2, in this manner. There are different people's names are here. And the last name is at 200th location or 200th place. Now this is your array. So just keep in mind, and if you want, you can draw it also, but just to make you understand. So for row equals to 1 to 200, this is handled through row. For column equals to 1 to 2, because it is handled through column variable. Output names is the name of the array. Brackets open, row comma column. Row comma column means 1 comma 1, then 1 comma 2. After that, it will be now over because the inner loop will be over. And just again be clear, next column will come first because for column is the inner loop, and next row will come later. First row done, and then it will be the turn for the second row. And second row again, both the values from both the columns will be output again by using the same output. And in this manner, you are done with all the 200 rows and your work is done. So although it's 4 marks, but see the marking points: outer loop, inner loop, output statements, and the termination. The use of the right loop, how to terminate, like when to write which next. That is very, very important. If, for example, a child has written next row here, next column here, it means he does not know how to end the inner loops. So just be very, very cautious whenever you get such questions. If you think that drawing will help you a bit, then go ahead with that. No worries at all. Now, part C, describe a possible problem with the algorithm that could mean the names are not sorted accurately. Now, what can be the reason? Just think for yourself. Again, definitely names. One very glaring thing that comes to our mind if two or more people have the same name. And they will never be sorted accurately because whatever is coming first will be handled first. This would mean that the array is not sorted. It should check the first names if two last names are identical. Now, this is what we should be doing. If two names are identical, then we have to check both for the first names. And remember, it's basically last name written first. That's why we have to be cautious that we have to concentrate on this last name checked first. And if two last names are similar, then we have to go for checking the next column, which is my first name. Okay, got it? Because basically we are checking the first column's value. And the next question number 6. The flowchart represents an algorithm. And let's do it first and then we'll see what the requirement is. Start, input sentence, sent length, assignment operator length, sentence, letter no equals to 1, start equals to 1. Is substring of start sentence comma letter no comma 1 equals to quotations open space and quotations open close means if the substring function is able to figure out a space, then what it has to do, move to the right hand side, to the left hand side and do these activities. And if that is not the case, it will simply move here and it will be increasing the value of letter no by 1. Right? Or it will be the process of counting is going to be there. Then and moving down again with another check, is letter no equals to sent length? Yes, so it will be moving to the left hand side and there are a few of the boxes that are here. You can see word, assignment operator, substring, sentence, comma, start, comma, length, and a letter no minus start plus 1, and then finishing it by outputting the word and the length of the word. Otherwise, if that is not the case, it is moving up once again and it will be moving for the check once again. So this is what the flowchart is supposed to do. Now let's move to the question. Complete the trace table for the algorithm using the given sentence. Now the given sentence is, should note the start position of the sentence is index 1. Just be very clear. Position is starting from position number 1. Now this is the statement that is given to me is computing is fun. And these two were already filled for me. Computing is fun. Now they are, let's see the columns. Sentence, sent length, letter no, start, word, output. Now this is my flowchart and let's keep this also active so we can see that how we have solved the flowchart. Input sentence. By the way, this input sentence was already given to me. Computing is fun and the sent length was also given to me. That was 16 because this whole sentence is composed of 16 letters, or you can say the length of the string is 16. Now moving to one by one. Letter no equals to 1, start equals to 1. Letter no equals to 1 and start equals to 1. You can see these two columns initial values are 1 and 1. Moving down, then is substring sentence comma letter no comma 1 equals to empty is equals to a space. You can see for yourself. Extracting the first letter C. Is C equals to space? No, now it is not. That is why it will be simply moving down and the value of letter no will be increased by 1, or the variable letter no will be increased by 1. And you can see here the value of letter no is increased by 1 and now becomes 2. And you can see after that we are just moving down and we are performing another check to figure out is it's equal to, is letter no, which is now currently 2, equals to 16, which is not the case, which is no, that's why it will move up. And now it will check the second value. First, it checked this value of C. C was compared with a space which was false. That's why it moved down, and checked the next value, which was O. In this manner, every single letter or every single part of the string will be extracted one by one using substring and will be checked that is it equal to a space or not. Now let's do it like this part is already done by me for you people. So let's understand it very quickly. Now the value of C was extracted first, and it was O that was extracted, and it was not again a space. That is why it will move down, and the value of letter N will be increased by 1. It will now become 3. Now you can see for yourself. First was C, not a space. That is why it moved down, and the value of letter N was increased by 1. It became 2. Then O was extracted, then the value is again not a space. That's why letter No's value was again increased by 1 and it became 3. In this manner, it kept on extracting C first, then O first, then M, then P, then U, then T, I, N, and G. All the letters were extracted one by one because the value of letter NO was increased by 1. First time it was 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. COMPUTING. And it happened that after N, it had extracted the ninth letter, that was G, and G was also not a space. So in this manner, simple, the value of letter NO is increased, and all the other columns, you can see there is no change. That is why we have left them completely, and there is no change at all. Fine. I hope that this is understandable. We prefer to only show whenever there's any variation. Otherwise, we don't show if there's no variations. I think this is clear to all of us. Okay, fine, children. Any questions till now? I hope that the concept is very clear to every one of you. Okay, now you can see here after G is extracted, then it was the next letter that was extracted. Till G, there's no change. Like G was not a space, that's why it moved down. And the value of letter NO was increased by 1 once again, and the value became 10. Okay, got it? The value now became 10. And when the value now became 10, what happened then? You can see the value is going to be, the value has, the value was 10. And it means now it is a space. And a space means now it is yes. So we are going to move to the left hand side, and here we can see word is going to hold substring sentence, comma, start, comma, letter NO minus start. So start was 1. So letter NO was holding 10. So 10 minus 1 means it was supposed to extract total of 9 letters. And that is why computing was extracted and stored in the variable word. As you can see, word will now hold substring sentence, comma, start, comma, letter NO minus start. So letter NO is 10. So 10 minus 1 is 9. So in other words, word was supposed to extract from the sentence from first position 9 characters. And that is what is stored in the column of word. I'm repeating. Just be very clear. Word is now going to hold substring, means extract from the sentence from start position total of letter NO minus start characters. And letter NO is now holding, the letter NO variable is now holding 10 at the moment. So that is why it will be extracting 10 minus 1 means 9 characters. And that is what is held in the variable word. And next is your output of word, then a space, and then it will be letter length of word. And that is why you can see here, first of all, it is going to display computing, a space is given, and after that the value is going to be length of computing is 9 characters. That's why displayed 9. Computing was stored in word, and output will be computing 9. That will tell you that in the word computing there are 9 letters. So till now we are over with this one. I hope that there's no problem. So do you want to do the rest of the stuff very quickly now? Come on, giving you 2 minutes and just try it out, and then let's see, are you able to figure out or not? Come on, be quick. Okay, now children, I hope that you have tried to do, but let's see. Let me do the, okay, now you can see now another thing that had happened was the value of start was letter NO plus 1. And letter NO plus 1 means it is now going to hold, letter NO is now holding 10. So 10 plus 1 is 11. So that is why the start will be 11. Another thing that you can see here, after that, there's another chain that you can see here. The value of start will be increased by 1 by adding 1 to letter NO. And since the value of letter NO was 10, so 10 plus 1 means it is 11. So now start is 11. So let's start from here. And it will be moving to letter NO equals to letter NO plus 1. It means it will be, letter NO will be 11 and letter NO will be 11. And you can see here letter NO will be 11. And 11 means it will be, is letter NO equals to cent length? Is 11 equals to 16? No, the condition is now false. It will move here. It will compare is substring sentence computing and from 11 position, is it going to be your space? Again, not the case. That's why it will move down and letter NO's value will be increased by 1. It will now become 12. Now, first of all, it had checked the value at 11th position. You can see after space, it is IS. I was checked, not a space. S was checked, not a space. Till now, there's no space. 11th position and 12th position. There's no space. Okay, fine. And it will now be moving to letters and NO's value. It's not going to be the same. So it will move up. It's not going to be the same. And the value will be 13. And then you can see for yourself. Are you done? On the 13th position, you can see definitely it has found a space. So then the condition is again true, and the value will be now increased by 1. 13th position means it will be a space. And that is why the value will be increased by 1, it will become 14. And it will be extracting IS from here. And it will be displaying IS and then 2 because the length of IS is 2. So in this manner, you have done this work. And now just moving here. The value of IS was figured out because of the use of, because of the finding of space here. You can see the letter computing, then space is, and then space. So another space was found, and a space was found means it was supposed to go again, once again to this one, word equals to substring, sentence means computing is fun. The starting position is going to be now 11 because 11 was the starting position, and from 11th position it will be extracting 2 letters because of the reason that letter NO minus start. So now letter NO minus start means letter NO is going to be 13, 13 minus 1, 11 is going to be 2. So it is going to extract 2 characters, and it will display is, and it will also display is space 2. So in this manner is extracted, and then the value of letter NO will be increased by 1 once again, and it will become now 14, like 14. And in this manner, again, 14th character is not a space, then it will be the letter fun from the word fun. F was first of all found, does not meeting the criteria. Then 15 again is not again a space. Then 16th also is not a space also, but it is going to be, now you can see for yourself, The value of letter NO is increased by 1 every time. First, it was going to be after is extracted and displayed. Now, the next stage is 14, 15, and 16. It means, in other words, F, U, and N were extracted, and they were, now you can see, now there's no space. But if you increase the value of letter NO by 1, it now becomes 16, and 16 is the length of the string. So now what will happen? It will be moving on this side. It will be moving towards this side, and it will be now performing this activity. So what will be happening here? Substring sentence start comma letter NO minus start plus 1. So it will now be extracting the letters FUN, and they will be extracted, and then they will be displayed along with the length of the string, that is 3, and this is going to be then ending your program because you are done with the work. Output is happening, and then and it is ending the program. So in this manner, you have performed the entire trace table just by being a little cautious, and you are done with the entire activity. I think this is very clear to every one of us. No issues, no problem in comprehending how to do it, and in this manner you will be scoring 5 out of 5. Just be a little cautious and you will be scoring the marks. Now moving to part B. Explain the purpose of the algorithm shown by the flowchart. So what is the algorithm doing? What is the purpose? So it's a 3-mark question, means that you need to write 3 valid points. The algorithm separates each word by detecting the space positions, as we talked about right now. Display each word in the sentence. Display the length of each word in the sentence. So if you observe what we have done right now, we have talked about. From the beginning, we have extracted each letter one by one, and we have figured out that how the moment a space is encountered, it is going to display the word, and along with displaying the word, it is also outputting the length of that word also in the, like, after each space is figured out. And this is how you can write the purpose, and you will be scoring 3 out of 3. Now, part C. As currently written, the algorithm may be difficult to understand if it was used as a program. Identify 3 improvements that could be made to the algorithm to make it more user-friendly. Now, it's going to be a 3-mark question, 1 mark per point, maximum 3. It could include welcome message. It include a prompt message, a message for the user to know that what he has to enter. It should include appropriate output messages. It should include presence check to the input. So out of these 4 points mentioned, if a child has written any of these 3 improvements, it means he will be scoring 3 out of 3. User friendliness, and with user friendliness, we mean that something should be closer to the user, means appropriate messages are going to be making the person understand what he has to do. A prompt message is going to be there to make him understand. Besides this, a presence check, because if the presence check is not used here, then it may result in some problem. So this is what the main thing is. Now, question number 7. Consider the logic expression x equals to a and not b, XOR a nor c. Draw a logic circuit for this logic expression. Each logic gate must have a maximum of 2 inputs. Do not simplify the logic expression. So first thing, let's talk about the first thing is the use of x equals to a and not b, and then we have the second one is a nor c, and then we are going to connect them with the XOR gate. So let's draw it, and I hope that you will be drawing with me also. So just remember, a NAND not B. And what will I see? With A, I have the NAND gate. And before B is connected with NAND gate, I need to perform the NOT operation. And then XOR will be in the end, and then we have A nor C. Now let's start. with the NAND gate drawn. And this NAND gate is connected with the NOT from B. This is what we drew first. You have connected the NOT gate to the NAND gate. And then it's A nor C, or if you want, you can draw the XOR gate first. Disconnected with the XOR gate drawn, connected to X. And then this is going to be having a connection from A nor C. So first of all, I have to draw a line from here, indicating it's going to be A, C, a signal is coming from here. And then we have the NOR operation done, means it will be an OR with a knotting symbol. And it is going to be connected with the last XOR gate. You can see here, this is my complete circuit. First thing is not B connected to the NAND gate, and then it is going to be moving to the XOR gate. Then we have A nor C, and A is getting a signal coming once again. That is why we have made a dot to make it understandable that signal is moving, or the signal is moving to two gates. And then we have drawn the NOR gate, and then the result is moving to the last OR gate. And in this manner, if you have drawn it accurately, 4 marks are yours. Now, part B. Complete the truth table from the given logic expression. Now, just for the simplicity, I've used the working space and just make you understand. So first thing, it is the not beat. Just to make it understandable for me, this is what I've done. Not B. It means the reversing of the signal B, or the column B. So 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1 becomes 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0. This is not B. Then next column is A NAND not B. It means I have taken not B and I have taken A, and I performed the AND operation. 0 and 1 is a 0 and 1 is a 0. Reversing will give you a 1. So just again, just a reminder. Remembering NAND and NOR is very easy. This is how I always do. What I do is I just remember and I know the truth tables for and OR, and I simply reverse the values. So just doing the same thing right now with you people also. I hope that you can also recall 0 and 1 is a 1. Reversing is going to give you 0 and 1 is a 0. Reversing will give you a value of 1. 0 and 1 is a 0. Reversing is a 1. 0 and 0 is a 0. Reversing is a 1. 0 and 0 is a 0, knotting is a 1. 1 and 1 is a 1, knotting is going to give you a value of 0. See, this is what is the reversing of the AND operation. Then 1 and 1 is a 1, reversing is going to give you a value of 0. 1 and 0 is a 0, reversing is going to give you a value of 1. And last one, 1 and 0 is also a 0, and knotting the value of 0 will give you a value of 1. So in this manner, A NAND not B with caution is going to give you the answer as 1 1 1 1 0 0 1 1. And then it is A nor C. And for A nor C, what we did, we simply took these two columns and we performed the NOR operation. Again, doing the same. I know that 0 or 0 is a 0, reverse is a 1. So this is why 1 is here. Then 0 or 1 is a 1, reverse is a 0. 0 or 0 is a 0, reverse is a 1. 0 or 1 is a 0 is a 1, reverse is a 0. Similarly, 0 or 1 is a 1, reverse is a 0. 1 or 0 is a 1, reverse is a 0. 1 or 1 is a 1, reverse is a 0. 1 or 0 is a 0 is a 1, reverse is a 0. And lastly, it is 1 or 1 is a 1, reverse is a 0. In this manner, the value for A nor C is 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. And lastly, I'm supposed to perform the XOR operation, and we know XOR means both signals have to be opposite to give you a value of 1. So now for this, we are going to refer to these two columns, A and not B and A nor C. Ones, opposites, or non-opposites. 1, 1, same, 0. 1, 0 opposites a 1, 1, 1, same a 0, 1, 0 opposites a 1, 0, 0, same a 0, 0, 0, same a 0, 1, 0 opposites a 1, and 1, 0 opposites a 1. So your final answer, I hope that is matching with mine, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1. That is your final answer for the logic circuit. Question number 8. A database table, national trees, stores details of the national trees of some countries from around the world. Now, what are the values here? ID code, country, continent, common name, scientific name. You can see they are the countries and these are the trees. For example, the common names and the scientific names. This is basically data about the trees, which are growing at different cities and different countries of the world. Say the number of fields and records in this database table. So the fields, as you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So simple. Five fields are here. And then how many rows are here? Now from here you will start. Please be clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16. So it means that there are total of 16 rows. Please do not include this line at all in the counting of rows because normally this is the mistake which is made by the students. This is what they do. They make this mistake quite often and that is why they lose their marks. So that is why your answer will be 5 fields and 16 records and that will give you 2 marks. Just with being cautious, you have scored 2 out of 2. Now moving to part B. The data in both ID code and country fields are unique in the database table. State one reason why ID code would make a better choice would make a better primary key than country. So you can see here, country is unique. You can see country is not a duplicating value. But why is it so that country is not a good choice and we should go for ID code? And reason is, if you pay attention to the details here, like until and unless you have paid attention to the details here, you will not be able to comprehend. Basically, they have mentioned the tree's name, like olive. Then you can see scientific names are given, and until now you can see no duplication. But what may happen is maybe certain trees are going to be duplicated in some other places also, maybe in some other countries also the same tree is grown. So that is why ID code is a better choice. So that is what is mentioned here, because the same country might have multiple trees and making the country field not a very good option to be chosen as a key field, because it might hold a duplicate value. So this is why the reason is clearly mentioning that why you're not going to choose country as a primary key and why should we go for ID code, because ID code will always be a unique value. Part C, give the output that would be produced by the structured query language statement. Select ID code, country, common name from national trees where continent equals to Europe, semicolon. So I am supposed to find out and display the ID code, country, and common name of all those places, of all those values which have the continent as Europe. So you can see here, the first Europe, it means this one. And we have to take this value, country name, and common name. Then second one, Europe, you can see here, moving down, moving down, moving down. This one is Europe. It means I'll be taking EU 321 and Golden Oak and the name of the country. And then thirdly, you move down, any other, or fourthly, any other, you can see Europe. Perfect. This is also correct. So it means that this one will be taken, this one will be taken, and this one will be taken. And then if you move down, is there any other Europe? No. It means that we have figured out all those fields which have all those rows which have the value Europe in their continent name. Now this is what is then done here. I hope that you have done it with me together. The three, you can see the marking points, 3 marks, 1 mark per marking point 1, correct data present, spelled correctly, marking point 2, correct layout, 3 columns with no additional punctuation, marking point 3 for correct order and no integrity errors. So the first one was EU 121 Albania. That's why the name is coming here. Then it is Golden Oak in Cyprus, and lastly it is Finland, and that is the name of the common name is also mentioned, silver birch. And in this manner, you will be scoring 3 out of 3 here. Okay, correct. Now part D. Complete the SQL statement. Okay, now just correctly identify there's a mistake of writing olive. Instead of olive, it is written olive. That is a mistake. So just correct it. Now moving to the last part. D. Complete the SQL statement to list only the country, common name, and scientific name of the national trees listed for North America in alphabetical order of their common names. Now, this is your 5-mark question, and what are the marking points? At least 2 correct fields in select, that will be marking point 1. Remaining 1 correct field in select, that will give you the second marking point. From national trees, the name of the database table correctly mentioned, that will give you the third marking point. The where clause, continent equals to North America, the fourth marking point. And order by clause, that is the order by common name. So this is how you will be scoring the marks. Select was written here, from was written here, where was written here. So I was supposed to write down all the required data. Country, comma, common name, comma, scientific name. So I have taken the fields from the table. Country name was country. Then common name was written as common name, you can see here. We have taken it from there, from the table. And scientific name. So we are not going to take the values the way they are written in the question. Please be very, very cautious. You have to refer to your... Okay, now let's take help of our other one. So you can see common name, COMMON without a space, NAM, and N is capital. Similarly, scientific name, SCIENTIFIC, and then without a space, N, capital, and AME. So this is what we need to be very cautious about. Select country, comma, common name, comma, scientific name. From national trees, the table name is mentioned in my question. Again, you can see the name of the table is national trees. You have to take it in the same manner. And where continent equals to North America. And North America is written within double quotations. And then since it said you have to put it in alphabetical order. Alphabetical order means that they want you to use the order by clause. And order by is only order by on their common names. Order by common names means this is the field that is going to be the main criteria of the ordering. And nothing mentioned means it is going to be ascending order. That's why order by common name, semicolon was already there, and that will give you 5 out of 5. Hope that this whole paper is understood by all of us. No questions, no ambiguity. Okay, great, wonderful. I hope that you have understood everything well. Jazakallah khairan kasira for being a part of the learning journey. Just stay tuned with the rest of the videos that are going to come. Inshallah, I'll be uploading the video of scenario-based question very soon. Stay tuned. Do not forget to click on the bell icon, share it with your friends and family, so they all are going to benefit from it. Take very good care of yourselves and your loved ones. May Allah bless you. May Allah help you. will help you in achieving your desired grades and help you in achieving your targets in future. Allah Hafiz, take very good care of yourselves and the loved ones.